Many of us pet and people photographers start off outside with natural light and maybe a reflector, but at a certain point we want to add some studio lighting to our bag and our skills. And many of us end up photographing pets and people in people's homes if we don't have access to a studio. But how can you start that on a budget with a minimal kit? Well, that's what I've got for you today. My very minimal lighting kit that you can use outside for sure, but also in people's homes. And it's way easier than you think. And you might already have some of this. So let's dive in. Monique here of Silver Paw Studio and founder of Pro Pet Photog, and I've been a pet and people photographer in Colorado for 10 years now, and only about 4 or 5 of those have I had a dedicated studio space. Before that, I went to people's homes, I went on location, I went to the shelters, and guess what? You can do a whole lot with a minimal kit for your professional lighting in your portrait work. So let's take a look at what I take, and I'm going to tell you how I use it as well. So first of all, I'm going to assume you have a camera. And a lot of times in tighter spaces, you'll want some kind of mid-range lens. This is the Sony A1 with the 24-70 lens. Lots of people love their 24-70. If you have a 50, this could typically work too, but you just need a little bit more room. So I like having a little bit of versatility with the wider end, but I'm going to assume you have a camera. The other thing that you can do in clients' homes, in shelters, if you have a natural light source, is a reflector. So I have this 5-in-1. You ready for this? Ah! It's 5-in-1 because this has 5 different surfaces. There's silver, there's gold. You can take this apart and there's more pieces to it as well. But this will add just that little extra punch of light indoor and outdoor if you've got significant light source. So I have had this for many years. This is probably my first light kit purchase, and get yourself one of these. The other thing you might already have in your bag or you're contemplating is a speed light. Now this is just a flash point. That's what I have because it goes with my studio lights, my Flashpoint Explorer 600s, same brand, so I can use the same trigger I'm going to show you in a moment. Now, these are way more powerful than you think they're gonna be, and you can really use this. This is what I use at the shelters typically, especially when I was going every single week. I would just bring this. It's a smaller footprint and it actually has a little foot that I can set it all over. If you've seen some of the videos on this channel, I've used this a ton for dog and cat portraiture at the shelters, and I've used it for client work. And this whole setup I'm going to show you works wonders inside and outside. So this is simply just a battery powered flash. So I typically say be sure to have at least one more set of batteries. I have probably 3 or 4 sets of rechargeable AA batteries for these, and you get the one that connects to your camera because the pins are different on every camera, and you'll want to take advantage of all the features of your flash. So get the one that's for yours. You can see mine has an S for Sony. And you can see how I use this in a ridiculous situation in the laundry room here at my building in the video up here. I'll tag that for you. So these are super handy. You can get them for really cheap on Amazon. Last I looked, they can be like $80, $90. Super cheap. Not this brand, but other ones. So if they fall over and break, this is just your out and about flash. So you can get this, or if you want to get fancier, you can have 2 of these. Now, in order for this to work in a nice way, like more of a studio look, you don't want to put this right on the top of your camera because that'll just flash right back into their eyes, and that's what you get that green or red eye on animals. So you could bounce this flash around and that will help, but I almost always say take it off your camera as much as you possibly can. But now you're going to think, okay, well, now it's disconnected. It's not ever going to talk together. And that's why you just need the little controller. And so this is the brand that goes with the Flashpoint, again, for my speed light and for my studio light. And you can just control that from your hot shoe. So you just slip it on here. Again, this has S for Sony, and you can set your lights right here. And that will allow you to take these nice studio style photos, because now this is portable. You can take it all over the place. Yeah. And honestly, this is sometimes all you need if you're a one-person show and maybe you've got one person helping you with the animal. I have been known to, I'm right-handed and my camera's set up that way, to flash this over my shoulder and take a picture. So you can definitely do this setup yourself if you have someone to help with the pets and people. But it's easier to do it with some of these other supplies. I'm going to show you. Okay, so you got your camera, you got your speed light, you got your little transmitter that goes in the hot shoe, come off of there. But let's say you don't have an extra person to help you with the light. You can get a really inexpensive light stand. You can get these all day long used on places like Marketplace. This is a very inexpensive lightweight brand. I want to say you can get these for like $30. Really, no problem. What's nice about these light stands is they have the pin up here, but they also have a 1/4 screw head. So if I wanted to just flop my speed light on here, the foot piece that goes on has a 1/4 thread in it, and I can just put it right on the light stand, just like that. And then I can move the stand all over wherever I want and point this and bounce it. So you can get away with just that. However, I suggest that you add some of these. These are super inexpensive, okay? Don't worry about it. They're very inexpensive. You'll have them forever. I've broken 1 or 2 of these contraptions, but only because I had them out in wind and I'm not as careful as I could be. Okay. I forget what this is called. I'll put a link to it in the description. This is something that will adapt your flash to the flash stand. So it's got a pinhole here and a pinhole here. And so one end goes on your stand. Ta-da. And then your flash, I have added this piece. Oh, it's been in here a long time. Oh gosh. Okay, I've added this pin with this little head, this flash foot stand. That goes up here. Tighten that on. Okay, and then, ta-da, you have a spot to put your flash. Isn't that handy? That is super handy. And this just, you double tighten it with your flash, and then tighten it with this little piece here. Okay, great. Now you have your flash on a stand. How awesome is that? And what this head will do is oh, here's the little lever, right? Here's the lever. You're gonna take the lever. Ah, oh, what? Now all of a sudden, you can do so much more with this. The head goes up and down. Now, here's how I use these a lot, and I will do the exact same thing with my studio flashes because they're battery powered, and that's what I take to clients' homes a lot. I'll show you one. It's my Flashpoint 600s. I do the same thing. This is what you do. You're going to need a lot of power. That's why you need the extra batteries. If your subject is here, flash this flash. You know how I usually say 45 and 45? Do it up, do 180 degrees from that. Flash this off the back corner, and it'll come back down onto your subject and give this nice light. You can see me doing this in action here in the video I'll pin here, and it is of my dog in my living room. Now, I didn't use this stand. I just set the flash up on top of shelves and my fish tank. So just bounce this either off the ceiling if you have a low enough ceiling, careful for hot spots, or off the back corner. One thing you want to watch for is the color of the walls. You don't want that to reflect back onto your subject as well. So this works well in most homes that you're going to have kind of a eggshell white wall. So look for that. And then just watch for variations in the ceiling. And you only need a minute to kind of adjust this because you're going to have this on top of your camera. You can quickly adjust this flash. And that could be all you need. That is mostly what I use on location with my big flash, is just flash this up into the other corner, and you're going to have to use a lot more power. Get those extra batteries. Be prepared for that. So a lot of time that's all you need. But what's great about this bracket it also has a place for the umbrella. So get yourself one of these little umbrellas. Again, super cheap. I want to say maybe $30, maybe they're 20 still. I don't know. And then on this, there's a little hole right here, and you just slip your umbrella in here. Now, there are two ends of this, and I constantly get them mixed up, but you will get a similar result whether you put the flash, you know, on the top of the bracket, the bottom of the bracket, however you want to do that. I know I often kind of say opposites when I'm giving these tutorials, but here you go. The good part about putting the umbrella in the same spot as your flash is now the whole thing can tilt up and down. And if you did it the other way around with the flash on this end, only the flash is going to move up and down and the umbrella will stay put. So however you want to use the whole thing, this way probably makes more sense though. So this setup is really amazing when you're outside too, because this is just going to give that little extra sparkle. Maybe they're backlit or they're in open shade like we talk about. This is going to really help fill in those shadows and give you the opportunity to have a little narrower aperture in case you have multiple subjects. And then this stand just is up. You'll need to, if it's windy, if you're outside or something, have sandbags, have some kind of weight to this if you're using the umbrella. It doesn't take much wind to knock this over, but I've been known to use this outside without the umbrella as well, but may as well play around with it, right? That's what I figure. This is going to spread it further for just a little bit bigger groups. Even if you only have 3 subjects, is going to be nice. That's all you need. I'm telling you, that is all you need. Flash it into the back corner and you have this super minimal kit. People will message me that have to take public transportation. This will all fit in like a tripod bag or a background bag, just a small duffel. You can put all of this in there, just about. This slips in my camera bag in the laptop pocket. Yeah. Now, I did say I want to show you what I actually am taking to clients' homes right now, and it's just a small difference. So let me grab that. I bring my Flashpoint Explorer 600s, and it's the exact same thing, but I bring a heavier stand because these are heavy lights. So it's just this light that I've had for many years. I have 2 of these in my studio. It's battery powered, so I don't need cords in clients' homes, but I do need a heavier light stand, so consider that if you want to take your studio flash. It will get jostled more. Make sure you watch the lens, the light, that it doesn't fall out, but these are awesome because they have a lot more power. So if people have vaulted ceilings, right, you're going to be able to use this in any of those situations or bigger rooms. So this is what I take, but it probably is a little much. I probably don't need to take that, but it really is nice for me to have just that power that's going to last. And then I'm also fortunate to have my assistant Frank that comes out with us, and sometimes we get in sticky situations where we're in a very small room trying to do all this, and so instead of a tripod, we bought this handle that we can put the light on top of, and then Frank holds this and points it around some places. That gets pretty heavy, so we're looking for like a belt or a body attachment for that, but I bring both when I go out on sessions. I bring both this stick for the light and a light stand. All right. That really is all you need. You can do professional flash, professional lighting in people's homes and the shelters everywhere with very minimal equipment. You really can. Okay? So I hope that helps. You don't have to get a studio. It's sometimes really nice to go into clients' homes. You just let them know, I might move around a couple pieces of furniture, you know? And they're happy to do that because then they don't have to leave. It's such a nice service for them, for you to be able to go to them. So there's a lot of advantages to photographing pets and people at their homes. So let me know if you have any questions in the comments. I'll try to put links to all this in the description too. And as always, I wish you many woofs, purrs, and TREATSs. All right, watch this one next. You're gonna like it.